Welcome, everyone. I am so excited to be your instructor for IT 212. Just a little bit about myself. My name is Richard Foster. This is a totally unscripted video. I decided rather than make up a script and read it, I just speak from the heart. So whatever's going to come out is going to come out. Hopefully, it will be positive. So, a little bit about myself. I was born and raised in Queens, New York, one of the five boroughs of New York City. I grew up a die-hard Met fan. Growing up in Queens, you needed to be a Met fan because the Mets were in Queens. I was not a Yankee fan until my junior and senior year of college, where I was fortunate enough to be trained for the last 2 years by the Yankees until unfortunately I hurt my knee. That pretty much ended my baseball career, but so much for that. Anyway, my undergraduate degree actually is not in computer science, it's in math. That was one of the two subjects I was good at. One was math and one was science. I decided that English and history was certainly not for me. And I really was not a big fan of computers until later on in life. So I really loved working in New York City. I actually managed a supermarket for many years, and I really totally enjoyed doing that. And I thought that was what I was going to do for the rest of my life. However, one day it got really, really cold and it snowed through the day, it snowed through the night. And the next day I could barely get out of my house. And I said, well, let me call my dad, see what he's doing. I called him and my mom said, well, sorry, he's not home right now. He's at the beach. So I said, you know what? That's it. So I decided to move down to sunny Miami and I've been there ever since, and I really truly love it. It's where I met my bride, and it's going to be 37 years, believe it or not, in June. That's really kind of hard for me to understand how fast time went. But anyway, when I moved down here, I continued to manage a supermarket. I did that for a couple years, and then all of a sudden, I got decided that you know what, I want to learn a bit about computers. They had computers in the supermarket, and I said, you know what, let me buy one, see what it's all about. And I did. I started learning to program and I really liked it. So I went to grad school at Florida International University for computer programming. I took that for 2.5 years. When I finished my programming classes, I became a full-time programmer. Unfortunately, as much as I love programming, I could not sit at a desk all day long for 8 hours, day after day after day after day after day, and then just continue doing it. So I did that for about 2 years, and I really did like it. I just could not program day in and day out. So anyway, if you take a look at me, and the camera, I'll bring my shirt up here. I am a Yankee fan. It does not really show, but you can see the back of my chair is Yankees, and pretty much everything that I own is Yankees. I have three sets of clothes. One that I wear for church, which are obviously dress clothes. One that I wear when I teach in person, and those are semi-dress. Then there's the rest of me, which is in a pair of sweatpants and a t-shirt. And that's exactly what I'm in right now. So you take a look at the back of my office. I am what my wife calls a pack rat. I have books that have been around for a very long time. And I just have the feeling that, you never know when you're going to need it. And one day you need it. However, that argument doesn't go too well with her, but she lives with it. I think she realizes this is the way I am. So enough about me. I decided after I was managing a supermarket, then I went to school, then I became a full-time programmer. Then I went in and became a computer consultant. I just couldn't handle the sitting down at the desk all day long programming, so I learned how to build and install networks, build computers, do all kinds of things at that nature, and I became actually pretty successful, but I decided that I was going to go work in a Christian school as an IT director. I felt God calling me, and at that point in time, I did that. It was a very great move. So I did that for 25 years. I decided, and maybe 3 or 4 years into my IT directorship, I decided to go back and get my master's, and my master's led to going to doctoral school. So I've got my master's and doctorate in educational technology. Doctorate is actually educational leadership, majoring in technology, but don't let that impress you. It just means I went to school longer. That's all that meant. Doesn't mean anything. I'm not any smarter than you, just maybe a little bit more experience. So I'm hoping that I can lead some of my experience to help you. Now, as an IT director, I'm very familiar with networks. I have been using TestOut, and I'm going to show you that in a second. TestOut is a great program. You're going to be using that throughout your course here to be creating videos and taking tests and things that are just really very, very, very useful. There's also some other resources which I'll share with you when the time is right, for Professor Messer. And he has some really great videos. So if you hear any noise in the background, it is somebody cutting the lawn. I have no control over that. So you hear a buzz, now you know what it is. Anyway, the TestOut is really, really good. So as a network administrator and an IT director, I spent a lot of times setting up servers, taking care of DNS, DHCP, all these things that you're going to learn about in this class. So let me switch to TestOut. Hopefully I can do it through my screen recording program, put myself a little bit in the bottom. And there I am down here. So now you can see this is TestOut over here, and it's broken down into several different sections. So you'll see that if you go in here, you get your arrow over here. You can put a drop down over here. You see all these bookmarks over here. You have home in here. And so this is the two classes that I'm teaching right now. So you're in one of these classes over here. You're going to access it directly through Brightspace. So you can see we are right over here, and there's a complete table of contents that is available for you. So let's just take a look at, let's see what this does here. You can see that is there. So now you can copy your lessons in here. If you go over here, you can see that now we have information about a certification that you can take in here. As you click over here, you progress through these. And the simulation here this is going to teach you how to use a simulator. Then there's also exams that you're going to be taking. So let's take a look over here at the outline. So here is all the things that used to be up top here, but they are now on the left. So if you want to go to something specific, you can click on the network basics, and so you're talking about network types. Now, I recommend, highly recommend, that you look at these networking facts. They're really chock full of information. And one thing that's also really good here is if you're watching a video, you can tell it's a video because it has over here. You can actually, you might not be able to do it because I'm on the bottom over here, but you can have this done with a transcript, and you can actually copy the transcripts. Then, of course, you're going to have practice questions here. So you have no time limit. There's 10 questions, and there's 80% passing score. So the majority of what you're going to be doing is your training is going to be watching videos. You're going to be doing some of the simulations, and you're going to be taking the quizzes in here. So I have up top here the syllabus. So you can look at that at your leisure. So we're going to be doing a few things up here. So you're going to be watching these videos and go through these sections. Now, it seems like it's a lot more than it really is, but the videos are really good, and you have a quiz to take, you have an activity to do, and you have several discussions in here. The first big project is going to be milestone 1, where you're going to start building your own network in here. So I think that's going to be really exciting. I'm looking forward to doing this. I have taught this class probably between 10 and 15 times in here using TestOut. So I'm really very familiar with TestOut. I really, really like it. But I do want to show you one other resource that you may consider useful. So let me click on it and search on this. It's Professor Messer. And if you go to his site, he has a ton of free videos. So here's the Networking Plus. Go to free videos, and you can see right away you get an advertisement. And here is all the videos that you can watch in here. So if there's something you're not sure of and you want a little bit more information, you can do this as well. So I think that this is going to be a great class. I'm looking forward to each and every one of you. Remember that I have a lot of students, so please feel free to email as often as you like. Just if I do not get back to you within 24 hours, it may have slipped through the cracks. So please just email me again. Say, hey, I sent you an email. You didn't respond. What's the story? One thing that would be helpful, since I'm teaching more than one class, is for you to put your class section in there. You can find the class section right on top, so you'll know which one it is. And if you have any problems, you have any issues, you know where to find me. I will do my ultimate best. Let's go back to the syllabus here. So you can see it's broken down here, step by step over here. No modules in here. You're going to be creating a GitHub account, and I'll give you mine so you can share it with me. And let's see if there's anything else in here. So we have project 2. So you're going to have a lot of fun in this class. I really, really believe that you will like it. I am a firm believer of Test Out. I really, really like it. So I am excited to teach this class again, as I said, and I look forward to a great term. Please let me know if you have any questions or anything that you would like to know that's not in the book, not in the chapter, not in the videos, not anywhere else, and I'll be more than happy to guide you the very best I can. Looking forward to an absolute fantastic class.